On this episode of Coming Soon to Orlando, we're talking about a $100 million development over in the Wellness Way area. We're talking about #1 theme park in the country, and the winner will probably surprise you. We're talking about Celebration having a new development, and it's going to anger some of the neighbors. Stay tuned. The first story today comes out of the Celebration, Florida area, and it's one that I think is going to make a few of the homeowners, or many maybe, a little upset. So I remember when Island Village was first coming on board, Mattamy got in front of the Homeowners Association, and I was in the room, and people were talking about, yes, now the new village is great. It's kind of a little bit farther out there, outside of Celebration, even though it's in the town of Celebration. It's really close over to Reunion, actually, and we'll put a map here to kind of show you where it's at. And I remember Mattamy saying, hey, at one time, the county may force us to put a back door into Celebration, because right now there's really only like two different ways that you can get into Celebration. There's no through traffic. It's people go to Celebration, visit, you live there, whatever it might be, and then they leave. Now that phase 1 of Island Village is complete, phase 2 and 3 are moving forward, and the county is saying, yeah, we're going to make you guys put in that backdoor road into Celebration from Reunion. Now the Osceola Polk County line all the way through I-4 is a traffic nightmare. This is going to cause a lot of people to be able to use this kind of cut through Island Village as a way to skip traffic. That's just inevitable. But the county is saying, listen, we need this for fire and rescue. It's going to make the town of Celebration more safe. It's going to make the area of Reunion a little bit more safe. But I do know that if people didn't know that this was coming along and they're buying houses in this area, it may be upsetting to them, rightfully so. Which the story to me isn't so much that the road is going in or not going in. It's when you're moving forward on new construction, one thing to think about is asking some of these questions of what's conservation, what's not conservation. Hey, if it's wooded area over there, is that staying forever? And what's it currently zoned for? And do we have any roadways that may be coming in? This is also something very similar down in the Lake Nona area. Laureate Park 2 has a new major road kind of coming right next to it. And if you didn't ask these questions early on, it may be something that makes it detrimental for you to try to sell in the future one way or the other. And so I'll be following this story to see how it unfolds, how big the road's going to be. Maybe they put some speed bumps in there to kind of keep people away. I do know they're trying to lower the miles per hour to like 25, so people won't be as encouraged to use it. It'll be interesting to watch. Let me know what you think down below. Story number 2 comes out of USA Today, and they put out their #1 theme park in the country. And I was kind of shocked for many reasons. First one, I'll get out with it, it's SeaWorld. I know there's a lot of new like roller coasters and attractions coming to SeaWorld, and I'll be completely honest, I've actually never been to SeaWorld. I've been to Disney 100 million times. I've been to Universal a bunch, but never to SeaWorld. And so obviously I need to make my way over there. But looking at the top 10 list, Disney and Universal actually didn't make it. Number 6 was Cedar Point, which is like America's roller coaster. Growing up in Michigan, that was like where we all went in high school. We did like trips there, and the roller coasters were amazing. But we're talking theme parks, and I went through and I looked through and I was like, okay, so what is this all based on? It wasn't like only thrill rides. It was legitimately like immersive theme parks 1 through 10. Disney and Universal don't make it. And so my question to you is like, A, do you love SeaWorld that much? And B, should Disney and Universal make the list? The third story comes out of the Lake Nona area and the Disney campus that's moving over there. The Orlando Business Journal came out with an article this week that they found 2 jobs that were Imagineering jobs that were going to be in the new campus, but not starting until 2024. And that led them to speculate that the new campus wouldn't be open until then. Now, I go by there almost every day, and it seems like dirt's getting moved and they're going to be building up. But are we talking about $1 billion build out within a year? Probably not. And so 2024 does look more and more realistic in terms of a move. And so it got me thinking a few other things. 2-3 weeks ago, when the Reedy Creek thing was like full swing and the story was blowing up like crazy, Florida Today and a bunch of other news websites were speculating, is Disney going to move forward on moving their campus here? And at the end of the day, yeah, of course they are. There's 80,000 cast members here. There's billions and billions of dollars already invested into the area, and it looks like they're moving forward just fine. The follow-up to that story to me is, how many jobs is Disney and Universal and other theme parks here in Orlando moving forward with, regardless of what's going on in the world, whether it's from COVID or recession or stock market crash, and what is that going to kind of do for their theme park industry? So I started going through their thing, and there's new jobs being added every single day. In fact, at Disney, not talking frontline workers, people working in the theme park, serving and that kind of thing, there's over 600 jobs currently listed on their website, from senior tech analysts all the way down to DVC sales. And so lots of jobs here in Orlando with Disney. Same thing over at Universal Studios. There's over 500 jobs on their website currently. And so I think that the theme parks are roaring back. You can see that everywhere we go. Going back to Disney's website, there's one thing that I love as you're kind of going through their career thing. It shows like, where will your story begin? Not sure where to search? Select an environment to get started. An office, a park, a production, or abroad at sea. And then you kind of create what your perfect world is. I'm going to steal this, Disney, sorry, and use it for my own website as we build out our company. Anyways, if you were going to work at a theme park, what's your dream job? The last story we're going to talk about today comes out of the Wellness Way project in Claremont. And the reason this is a big deal is because the Olympus project and Wellness Way have been a little quiet over the past few months on new developments and what's going on. Although, if you drive over there, you can see they are feverishly working on new infrastructure and new buildings. Enter into this new article from the Growth Spotter that came out this week. A $100 million medical facility has been approved and closed on, paving the way sort of like some of the first larger office, retail, hospital, all that kind of stuff up and down that 27 strip in the Wellness Way project. And so this is a big deal for Claremont, but it's also really big for the Central Florida area as housing affordability has gotten kind of wild. Claremont is really, to me, one of the most logical next steps for many people to move to, but they need jobs. And so this $100 million medical facility is going to create over 300 new high-paying jobs in the area. So I think that's a great thing. If you're interested in looking at some of the more Wellness Way project, I did a whole video on that. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the builders in there and how that unfolds in future videos as well. That's this week's episode of Coming Soon to Orlando. I hope that you learned something. My goal is to make you the best informed audience in the Central Florida area. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the Orlando market, my team and I, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. So make sure you reach out at info@positgroup.com. Then subscribe to our channel as we're putting out new videos multiple times a week about life here in Orlando. We'll see you guys on the next video.